object. So blueprint of an object, or so we can also call as so mirror image of an object. What is a mirror image of an object? Correct. So this class, it is a logical entity or an physical entity? Come on, guys. It is a logical entity or a physical entity? 100% class is a logical entity. Class is a logical entity. Correct. So now, so we have some states and behavior. Correct. We have some states and behavior. So where will I store? We need a one container. We need a one memory block. Inside a memory block, I can store states of an object, and as well as I can store a behavior of an object. Correct. States of an object and as well as behavior and of an. So this we can call it as an class. Class is also act as a memory block. Class is also act as a container in order to store states and behavior of an object. Clear. So one more point about a class. Class does not occupy any memory. So does not occupy any space in your memory. Clear. It does not occupy any space, guys. Clear. So how do we create a class? So we have a keyword, something called as an class. So by using this class, so we can create an class, guys. So for example, so class followed by class name, open bracket and close bracket. Inside a class, we can write so many things. Correct? Yeah? So this is all about a class. In the last session we discussed. And also I have discussed something called as an object. Correct? What do you mean by object? What do you mean by object? Let's try to revise the session and then we'll start with a new topic, guys. Try to recap all the things what we discussed in the last session. Come on. What is object? That is a real world entity. Yes, sir. It is a real world entity, and also it is an physically existing in nature. It is an instance of a class. Instance and all we'll discuss this later. Because that word instance so comes from an object, guys. Like we have to create an object. At that time we can we're going to discuss about an instance. As of now, so you should remember a class is nothing. Sorry, an object is nothing but it is a real world entity, and also there are some physical existing in nature. Physical existing in nature means we can feel it, we can touch it, right? It is a physically existing in nature, and also it is a part of a real world. Those things we can call it as an objects, guys. Clear. So how many objects we can create in Java? Sir, we can create an n number of objects. Is there a restriction that we need to create only one object? No. So we don't have any restrictions to create only one object. We can create a number of objects based on our requirement, guys. Based on our requirement, we can create a number of objects. I'll discuss, okay? Now I'll discuss about all those things. As of now, you should remember. And what is the third point here? So whenever we spoke about and we talk about an object in the last session, so every object has some properties. Correct? Every object has some properties. So mainly those properties are categorized into two types. Mainly those topics are categorized into two types. First one is a states and second one is a behavior. A states is nothing but what object knows, which means the data of an object. Every object has some data, right? Every object has some information. So that information we need to store it. Are you getting it? Those things we can call it as a states. Clear. And next, behavior. Behavior in the sense what object does. What object does. So does in the sense, so what we can do by using that object? What is the task of that object? Clear. So that things we can call it as an behaviors. So generally, states are declared by using an variables. Behaviors we are going to declare by using methods. Still, you don't know about methods. So have some patience. We're going to discuss about methods bit later. I mean, in our next session. So you know about already variables, right? So the states can be declared as an variables inside in the Java. So understood everyone? So anyone have any doubt in an object or a class? So you have to remember all the points, guys. You have to remember all the points because if you don't know how to, if you don't know about an object, it's very difficult to solve in our next session. Is it clear? So try to remember all the points, and please try to interact. Please try to interact. Don't make me to sleep, guys. Clear? Yeah. So today I'm going to start a new thing. Okay, na? So I hope you guys have installed Eclipse. I hope you guys have downloaded already and installed it. I guess it's correct. Oh, so yes or no at least. Okay, only downloaded. Installation not completed. Okay, that installation part I'll be, I'll give some instructions. I'll give some guidelines, at the last. Okay, now try to concentrate. Okay, try to concentrate. Now, so how do we let us take a student. Let us take a student. So we have some students. So this fellow is a student. So you tell me, the student is an object or not? Student is an object or not? Yes or no? Student is an object. Correct. It is a real world object. Yes, it is an object. So every object has some things. What is that? States and something called as an behaviors. Correct. States and behaviors. Can you please think and tell me what are the states of an object? What are the states of a student? Very good, guys. A name. Next. Yes, name, age. We don't have ID, so rather we can call it as a roll number. Okay, now if it is an employee, we can call it as an ID. Okay, now, name, age, a roll number. Next, so something called as an gender. Correct. Okay, height to weight not required. Ale. Color. Hey, super guys, very good. Phone number. Hmm. Student, phone number, color, height, weight, section, marks. Like we have different things. Okay, now so this we can call it as a stage, which means what object knows behavior in the sense. So behavior, what it does, yeah. So what it does is reading, like you guys. Okay, now you guys are the student. What you will do? Sleeping. Very good. Listening, playing games. Yeah, different things of it. Right? Yes, I guess you guys are understood the topic. Yeah, very good, guys. Now, what we have to do? So we need to create an object. So generally in Java, why should we create an object? We have a two reasons. I've already discussed in the last session. So why should we create object in Java? So we have a two reasons. So the as of now you should ignore this the second reason. I'll be discussed bit later. So this one, first one. So what is that? So we have to convert. We have to convert. Yes, very good. Convert a real world object into a real world object into programming world. Real world object into a programming word object. Correct? Because we guys are the developers, right? So what is our job? Yes, we have to convert a real world object into programming word according to the client requirement. We have to write a code. That is our job. Correct? That is the reason we are struggling to understand the topic. Now, so what is our object? Student. So if I want to write any program in Java, mandatory we have to start with a keyword called as a class. Correct? So let me take a class. Let me take a class. Can anyone think and tell what is the class name here? Yes, very good guys. Class student. Class student. Always your object name and class name should be same. Open bracket and close bracket. Open bracket and close bracket. First, I want to declare a name. A name. This person name we can call it as an Dinga. This person name. Let me declare a first main method. Okay, I don't want to confuse you. So let me declare a main method. So as of now, public static void main. So string array of argument. It is in shortcut. Okay, na string array of arguments. Again, open bracket and close bracket. Done. So this is in scope of a class. This is a main method scope. Okay now, so inside a main method we have to write a variables. Let me declare it as, so first one, name. So what is the name of a student? Name of a student is Dinga. Name of a student is Dinga. So internally what happened? Internally one object is created, sorry, one variable is created, one memory block is created. Correct? So what is the memory block? What is the name of the memory block? Just a name. Okay, now what is the data here? So we can call it as a Dinga. Now, can anyone think and tell what is the data type of this, a Dinga? String. Very good. So why string? Because we are storing a multiple words, correct? And second one, so we have a something called as an age. Correct. Age, let it be an 18. Okay, now again internally what happened? Internally one more memory block created. And what is the data? 18. And what is that memory block name? Age. And what type of data I'm storing inside a memory block? I am storing an int type of data. Okay, now next I'm going to declare it as something called as a marks. Okay, now marks. Okay, now, so what is the marks? Around 86. 86. Internally, what happened? Internally, one more memory block is created. And what is that memory block name? And memory block name is in marks. And inside a memory block, what type of data I am storing? 86. 86. What type of data? Into type. Okay, now we successfully stored all the data. So we successfully stored all the data. Now, simply I'm storing. Next, what I have to do? So I need to print it. Okay, na? I need to print it. So now, how will I print? Is there any printing statement in Java? Yes. So we have a something called as an a system dot out dot println. System dot out dot println. What I have to print? Should I print Dinga or should I print name? Oh, you think and tell me what I want to print. Should I print Dinga or a name? Sir, name contain a data called as a Dinga. That is the reason I have to print a name. Okay. So we have to print a name. So whenever we talk about a name, so if I print like this, okay, now control comes to name. Okay, now so control comes to name, and internally it will go to the memory block called as a name. Inside the memory block, what is the data we have? We have a data called as a Dinga. So that is the reason I'll get output called as a Dinga. After that, system dot out dot println. Again, if I try to print age, so internally what happened? Internally control comes to so this age. Again internally it will go to the memory block called as an age. Internally, so inside an age, what you are storing? I'm storing an 18. That is the reason I'll get output called as an 18. Correct. Again, system dot out dot println, system dot out dot println marks. So what is my output then? I get an output called as an 86. Correct. So this is how we have to write a program. Okay, now these many days. So So this like like this we write a program, correct? So but the scenario gets changed, guys. Okay, now everything good at all this, this kind of a structure. But from now onwards, scenario will get changed. So what we have to do? These many days. So we have to write all the data inside a main method, correct? This we can call it as a main method. So we have to write all the information inside a main method. But from now we have to write all this data. So before a main method, not after a main method. So how will I do that? What happened if I write like this? So I'll try to explain it in a very easiest way. Okay, na? Okay. Let me take one more object. What is that object? Let me take it as an object name is an employee. Employee. So every employee has some states. Okay, now same name, ID, salary, company name, designation. Okay, now so same thing, Now let me take a class. Class. What is the class name here? Employee. Class name is an employee. Open bracket and close bracket. Open bracket and close bracket. Now string name. String name. This time we can call it as in Guldu. Guldu. Okay, na? Int ID. Guldu ID is an 8. Okay, na? Next, double salary. Double salary. Around Guldu salary is a 50,000. Okay, na? 50,000. Okay. Now, so what is this? These three years are the variables. These three are the variables. So we have a one topic called as in static and non-static. I'll be discussing bit later. Okay, na? Static and so we have a something called as a non-static variables. I'll be discussing bit later all over it. As of now, you should understand it. Okay, na? Static. Static is nothing but it is a keyword, guys. It is a keyword. Okay, now so this static keyword I can be used with something called as a class. I can use with a class. I can use with an methods. I can use it within variables. I can use it within variables. Okay, now so how will I declare an class as a static? Very simple. So sorry, just a minute. So we are not supposed to use with the class. So we can use it within variables, and we can be used with the methods, and we can be used with the something called as a blocks. That blocks we'll discuss bit later. Okay, now so how do we declare a variable as a static? Very simple. For example, I have a variable called as an age is equal to 18. Okay, now so how do we declare this age is a static variable? It's very simple. We are going to declare it as an using a static keyword. By using a static keyword. Whenever we declare an age by using static keyword, and this we can call it as a static variable. Okay, now for example, I have a name. I have a name. So let me take it as a Tom. Okay, now so Tom string. So this is all about a variable. So this variable static variable or a non-static variable. Did I use any static keyword here? No. So which means this is a non-static. For example, if I use the static keyword, if I use a static, this we can call it as a static variable. This we can call it as a static variable. Again, I have a something called as an ID. ID is equal to 7. ID is equal to 7. Okay, na? So int. This ID static or non-static? Did I use any static keyword here? Is there any static? Then whether it is a static or a non-static, this we can call it as a non-static. Non-static which means we are not supposed to use any static keyword. Those things we can call it as a non-static. If I use a static keyword, that we can call it as a static keyword. I mean static variable. So then now this is a non-static. This is a non-static variable. This is a non-static variable. Yeah, guys, we have a something called as an inside a variable. We have a two types. Okay, now don't be confused. Okay, now I'll try to explain. Variables. How many types? We have a two types. First one is an local variable, and second one is an global variable. Correct? Inside a global variable, again we have a two types. Local variable in the sense, so inside a only in a particular block. Okay, now inside a only particular block. Global in the sense in a class format. For example, class test. So open bracket, close bracket. Okay, now if I declare it as an ID is equal to 7. If I declare it as a main method, inside a main method, if I declare it as an age is equal to 18. So now this we can call it as a global variable. Why? Because I have declared this variable within a class level. Correct. Within a class scope. That reason we can call it as a global variable. See, age I have declared within a memory location. Local variable. Local variable. So that we can call it as a local variable. See, age I have declared within a memory location. So that we can call it as a local variable. Static. Instead of local variable, so we don't have any static and non-static concept. We don't have any static and non-static. Understood? So we have a variable. So inside a variable, we have two types of variables. Correct? First one is a local variable. Second one is in global variable. Inside a global variable, again we have a two types. What is that? Static variable, and second one is in non-static variable. Is there any static, non-static concept in a local variable? No, we don't have any concept called as an static and non-static inside a local variable. Only we have a global static variables and global non-static variables. How do we consider whether it is a global variable or a local variable? If any variable declared in a class block, that we can call it as a global variable. I can access wherever I want. Correct? If any variable declared in a specific scope, this is a specific scope, in a scope. So that we can call it as a local variable. Clear? Now, so in this case, these variables are the local variable or a global variable. Think and tell me, local variable or a global variable. Think and tell me. I want answer from everyone, guys. I want answer from everyone. Local or global? Like double fellows, just come explain. Let us take it as a class test. This is a class block. This is a class block. Remember, class block. This is the let us take out of the main method. This is a main method block, which means it is a specific scope, specific only that area, a small area. Let us take it is in India. Inside India, we have a something called as a Telangana. Okay, now this main method consider it as a Telangana. Okay, now let us take it as an int age. Int age is equal to 18. Int age is equal to 18. And here again I have something called as an int id is equal to 5. This is I am declaring inside a class block. I am declaring this variable inside a class block. That is the reason we can call it as an a global variable. Global. Why? Because I have declared in a class block, not in a specific scope. Global I have declared it. Getting it? Now I have declared this ID inside a specific scope, inside a specific. That is the reason we can call it as a local variable. Local variable. This one, static variable or a non-static variable. This global variable is a static or a non-static. Did I use any word called as a static here? Did I declare it as any static word? No, I have not declared it as any static keyword. That is the reason this global variable is a non-static global variable, a non-static variable. Clear? We don't have any concept in a local. We don't have any concept called as a static or non-static inside a local variable. Understood? Understood, guys. Local variable. Don't be confused. With local variable, global variable. Is it clear? Okay. 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 Very good. Very good. Very good. Okay. Now where it is? Yeah. So these are all the global variable. Now in this global variable, these are all the non-static variables. So how do we say whether it is a non-static variable? Lay Dabba fellow, look here. Did I use any static keyword here? No, I have not used any static keyword, which means these three are the non-static variable. These three are the non-static variables. Non-static variables. Okay. I have a main method. I have a one main method. Let me write it in a easiest way. Public static void main. Public static void main string array of an arguments. Public static variable, so string array of an arguments. Again open bracket or close bracket. Always execution start from a main method. Always execution. It is a door like, guys. For example, if I have a home, if I have a house, so in that house, so we need one entrance point. Correct? That entrance point is nothing but a main method. Clear? So always execution start from a main method. Clear? This is an execution start from a main method. Okay. Now. I want to call this name inside a main method. I want to call this name inside a main method. I want to call this ID inside an what is that? Inside a main method. I want to call this salary inside a main method. How will I call? Can anyone think and tell? I want to print up. In the last session, in the last program, just what we did. So we created and we printed. We declare it, we print it. We declare it and we print it. Same as like this, guys. Now I want to print it. How will I do that? By creating an object. Why should I create an object? Okay, so let me write system.out.println. System.out.println name. System.out.println name. Next, system.out.println ID. System.out.println salary. Okay, na. So this is how we have to print it. First, let me execute this program. First, we have to check whether this program is a correct or wrong. In order to do that, let me open my Eclipse. So just a minute, it will take some time. T plus 85. Hey, what is your batch code? TECM44, right? Okay. First, I want to execute this program. Okay, now we'll see whether it is executed or not. I too don't know. Okay, now try to concentrate. I'm explaining the topic in a very easiest way. Some fellows they are already aware of all those things. Some fellows they don't know about all those things. I'm going slow just because these things are very important. Okay, now if you are able to understand these things, next topics are very easy to understand. Okay, so let me take one more class. So class. So what is it? Employee. EMPLOYE. Okay, now employee. This is a class. Okay, now string name Guldu. Next int ID is equal to 12. Next int salary 50,000. Okay, now so let me take a main method. Let me take it as a main method. This is my main method. You tell me, these three are the local variables or global variables? Where will I declare? Inside in a class block or a specific scope. This is a specific scope. I have declared inside a class block. That is the reason we can call it as a global variable. Okay, now what I want to do is now I want to call all these global variables. So why sure? So why? Because always execution starts from my main method. That is the reason if I want to call, if I want to execute any program, first I should call all this person here. So let me call system.out.println name. Now system.out.println id. Okay, now system.out.println salary. I'm getting something, errors here. Why? What is that errors? In a line number 11, in a line number 12, in a line number 13, I'm getting an errors. So why is there? What is the wrong in this program? I am declaring, I am printing. I'm declaring, I'm printing. Now let me execute, sir. Uh, Look here. I'm getting an one, message. What is that? Exception thread main java.lang error. Unresolved compilation problems. Cannot make a static reference to the non-static field. Cannot make static reference to the non-static field, which means, let dabba fellow, you have a non-static variable. If I want to call a non-static variable, okay, now if I want to call or if I want to print a non-static variable, mandatory you have to create an object. Okay, now mandatory you have to create an object. How will I create an object? So employee is an a real world object. Now I want to convert it into the programming world. So what I want to do is I want to create an object. How will I do that? I have a beautiful syntax. In order to object creation, object creation, object creation. So why should we create an object? Okay, now let me explain this concept. So this is a little bit tricky. Okay, now little bit tricky. I will explain this topic in a very, 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 very easiest way. So little bit tricky. Try to understand. Okay, now. So this variable, I have a something called as a name, ID, salary. Okay, now. So those variable internally, it does not have any memory, guys. So these non-static variables internally, initially, it does not contain any memory allocations. Now, as a developer, what I want to do is we have to explicitly allocate some memory. Okay, now these fellows, these non-static variables, it does not have any memory internally or initially. Initially, it does not contain any memory. Okay, now non-static variables. I'm speaking about respective non-static variables. Non-static variables initially does not contain any memory allocation. As a developer, we have to create a one separate memory for those non-static variables. We have to create a one separate memory for this non-static variable. After creating a separate memory, we have to store all the non-static variables inside this memory. We have to store all the non-static variables inside this memory. So this memory we can call it as an object. This memory we can call it as an object. Okay, now. So this object again I have to take this object, and where will I store? I need to store one memory block. So this memory, this area, this memory area we can call it as an heap area. This memory we can call it as an heap area. I will take this object and store it inside here heap area. Again I'm going to create a one more object. Okay, now take this object, again store it inside a heap area. Again I'm going to create a one more object. Take this object and store it inside a memory. So heap area is nothing but it is used to store all the non-static memory blocks, sorry, non-static variables are an objects. Okay, now let me explain. So object creation, object creation, I'll give some points. Okay, now first of all, why should we create an object? So non-static variables, non-static variables initially does not contain, does not contain memory block, memory block. As a developer, as a developer we have to explicitly we have to explicitly allocate memory for non-static variables. We have to explicitly allocate a non-static members or a non-static variables. Okay, we have to explicitly allocate memory for non-static members. Second point, syntax. Syntax to create an object. What is a syntax? This point is very important. Okay, na? So class name, new keyword is equal to class name, object reference variable, object reference variable or object reference name is equal to a new and class name. Open bracket, close bracket, and this is how we have to create an object. Okay, na. So how many object create? We can create a n number of object. Okay, now there is no restrictions at all. Now, what is the third point here? What is the third point? New operator. New operator. We have something called as a new, right? This fellow. New operator is responsible. New operator is used to create an object. It is used to create an object. Understood, guys? Points understood? Not understood means please try to you have to raise your question, guys. That's it. Very simple. Okay, na? No. So why should we create an object? So initially non-static variables does not contain a memory block. Initially it does not contain a memory block. As a developer, we have to explicitly allocate some memory. So that is the reason we have to create an object. So what is that? Class name, object reference variable, and is equal to new class name. And what is the third point? New operator is used to create an object. And the fourth point, why should we? What is that fourth point? After creating an object, for example, if I have a non-static variables in my class, if I have a non-static variables, I cannot access that non-static variables directly. No, there is no permission at all. Okay, we don't have any rights to access non-static variables directly. So rather what we have to do, we have to create an object. After creating an object, so how will I do that? How will I access? By using object reference variable. So what is the conclusion here? So we have to create an object. Create an object to access or call non-static members. Non-static members. This is the reason. First of all, non-static variable does not contain memory. That is the reason we have to create an object. After creating an object, by using that reference name, we have to access a non-static members. Okay, now remember these 4 points. Okay, now, for example, now I have an employee data, right? Class, an employee, correct? Employee. I have something called as an what is that? Name, ID, and salary, correct? Name Guldu, ID 7, and salary 50,000, correct? And this is my main method, open bracket and close bracket, and this is a class scope. Okay, now I have string, int, and let me take it as an int as well. Okay, now always execution start from a main. Now these are all the non-static variables. These are all the non-static variable. Internally or initially does not contain a memory space, so we have to explicitly allocate a memory. So object creation syntax. What is the class name here? Employee. So employee Next, object reference name emp is equal to a new employee. New employee. So this is an object creation syntax. Employee emp is equal to new employee. Now, so who is responsible creating an object? New operator. New operator are the responsible to create an object. So internally, one object is created, which means one dabba is created like this. Okay, na? So what is that object name? Object name is an employee object. What type of object we created? Employee object. Every object has one address. Every object has one address. Let us take that address is in 0x1. Okay, na? That employee object contain one address, guys. For example, your house contain one address, right? So in the same way, so that employee object contain one address. What is that? 0x1. Okay, na? So that 0x1 we have to store it inside an reference variable called as an emp. Reference variable. It is a kind of a variable. This variable stores a data. What type of data it stores? It stores a employee address. What is it? 0x1. It stores a data called as an 0x1. No. So this 0x1, it is an what type of data? It is an employee type of data. Clear? Now, after storing, sorry, after creating an object, what I want to do here? I want to store all these non-static variables inside an object. So what is the non-static variables name? Load all the non-static variables. Let me try to call here. So name. So this name is going to store it inside an object. What is that? So name Guldu. Next ID 7. Next salary. No 50,000. Data. All the data are stored inside an employee. Okay, na? Now, if I want to pick any one data, if I want to call any one data, now first I should call this 0x1. Why? Because this employee is a person who knows address of it. Initially, we don't know. If I want to call any person from that object, first I should call this address. Correct? So that is the reason printing statement system dot out dot println emp emp dot emp dot mandatory or to remember this dot operator emp dot I want to call a name. I want to call a name. Next system dot out dot println emp dot id emp dot id. Next system dot out dot println emp dot salary. Okay, now if I try to call like this, internally what happens? System.out.println and emp.name. First, emp control goes to object reference emp. So this emp contain address. What is that? 0x1. It is going to search where it is 0x1. Yes, 0x1 is present here. And this dot operator, it is works like a postman. Okay, now what will go? It will go to the object 0x1. So now it's searching for is there any name present inside an object? Yes, we have a name. So what you will do? You'll take the name and what is that data we'll get? We'll get a data called as in Guldu. Again, control comes to next line. System not outer println printing emp. Again, control goes to this emp. This emp contains an address called as a 0x1. Again, control goes to 0x1, and after that, this dot operator will goes inside and inside is searching. Is there any ID? Because I'm printing an ID, right? Is there any ID inside an object? Yes, we have an ID. It will take and it will print. What is that? 7. Again, after that, control comes to next line. SOP, EMP. Again, control goes to this EMP, 0x1, control goes to address, and this dot operator enters into an inside and is searching. Is there any salary? Yes. What is that? 50,000. Like this, internally it is going to work, guys. Correct. Now, here I have a non-static variable. Now, I cannot call like this directly. If I try to call like this, it will get, I will get a beautiful slap from the compiler. Let above hello, these are all the non-static variables. First, you should create an object. This non-static variable does not contain any memory. First, you should allocate one memory for that non-static variable. So, how will I do that, guys? So, how will I do that? Is there any syntax? Yes. First class name. What is the class name? Employee emp object reference name new employee. Internally, new operator is responsible creating an object. Clear? Now, system dot out dot println emp dot, look here, this emp contains an id, name, salary. This address, this inside an emp I have stored the address, so that is the reason it is pointing. You want id, name, or a salary. So first I want a name. Okay, now that is the reason I am printed a name. Next, system dot out dot println emp dot id. Next, system dot out dot println emp dot salary. Now if I try to execute, what is my data here? I'll get in equal to 12 50,000. I'll get in equal to 12 and 50,000 as an output. Understood? Understood everyone, because that program is very important, guys. Creating an object and accessing the non-static members, it is very 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 important. It's highly important. Not understood means again you have to ask, I'll explain. Anyway, we're going to do one more program. As of now, you should tell me yes, understood or not understood. Others, I want everyone respond. I want everyone respond. So some fellows are went offline. So I guess those fellows are really good in Java, I guess. Understood. Okay, fine. Now, so let me create a one more uh, class. Okay, na? So this class, let us take it as a car. Okay, now open bracket, and here we have an, let me divide it into open bracket, and here we have a close bracket. Okay, now so every car has some states and behaviors. String brand, string brand. What is the brand? Let me take my favorite thing, Audi. Next, int cost around 10 lakhs. 4, 5. Okay, now next, string color, black. Okay, now next, int number of seats. Number of seats 4. Clear? Okay. Now these variables, static, non. First of all, it is a global or local. Let us take, we have a main method here. Main method, open bracket, again close bracket. Local variable or a global variable? I'll kill you. I want answer. Global variable. Okay, now. So inside a global variable, it is a what type of variable? Whether it is a static variable or a non-static variable? Sir, 100% it is a static variable. Correct? Huh? Sir, what, sir? We are not blind, sir. Sir, did you declare any static keywords are here? Is there any static? No, which means it is an non-static variable. It is an non-static variable. Sir, we know one thing, sir. So we cannot call or we cannot print this non-static variables inside a main method directly. We don't have any rights to print this non-static variable inside a main method directly. So why? Because this non-static variable does not contain any memory. So initially it does not contain memory, sir. Then how will I print? Then what I have to do, sir? We have to create an object. Okay, now we as a developer, we have to explicitly allocate a memory. Correct? We have to explicitly allocate some memory for this non-static variables. So how will I allocate a memory? If I want to allocate a memory, we have to create an object. So how will I create an object? Is there any syntax? Yes. Class name. What is the class name here? car, and we need a one reference variable. What is that reference variable? C. Okay, now let me take it as a C. Next is equal to new operator, and again class name. Okay, this is an object creation syntax. This is an object creation syntax. What is the job of new operator? New operator internally, this fellow will create an one object. So internally this fellow create an one object. Okay, now what type of object he has created here? What type of object? He has created something called as a car object. Car object. Every object has one address 0x1. Every object has one address 0x1. What is that? 0x1. It is an address of an object. What we have to do? Internally, this object address will get stored inside a reference variable called as an C. So now that C as a variable, it is a variable, okay? It is a reference variable. Okay, which means why reference variable? Because this is a referring that car object. That is the reason we can call it as a reference variable. What is the job of variable? Store some address, store some data. So this time, this C, what type of data it's storing? It is storing a address of a car. Okay, now 0x1. If I want to call any person from this home, okay, now we have one house, okay, now if I want to call that person, if I want to call that person from a house, particular house, first I should know address of that house. Then only I'm going to call that person. For example, Raju is studying in the 7th standard. Okay, now 7th and 8th standard. We have two sections here, 7th A and 7th B. Okay, now 7th A and 7th B. Okay, now Raju is studying us 7th A. Okay, now teacher wants to call a Raju. Okay, now here we have one more Raju. Okay, now teacher wants to call the Raju. So what type of Raju? 7th A Raju or 7th B? 7th A, which means first we should know address of that person. If I want to call this person, first we should know the address. 7th A. Instead of 7th A, we have a Raju. Okay, now in the same way, here also that 7th A, 7th B, nothing but 0x1 address. Okay, now now after that, after creating an object, every object in address, I have stored it inside an variable, reference variable C. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to store all these, non-static variables inside a memory, because I am explicitly allocating memory for these non-static variables. Correct? Load all these things inside a memory. Done. No, brand. So this brand is an Audi. This brand is an Audi. Next, cost. This cost, what is the cost? Around 10 lakhs. Okay, now next, color. What is that? Black. Next, number of seats. Number of seats. How many? 4. Okay, now. So I have explicitly allocated memory as well. Next, what I want to do is I want to print it. I want to print it. Is there any printing statement? Yes. What is that? System dot out dot println. System dot out dot println. Seed. Let us take. If I try to print brand, whether it is working or not, will it work? No. Play double fellow non-static variables. How can we call it directly? Correct, a compiler, slap. It will give a beautiful slap. So rather, what I want to do here, I want to print by using a reference variable. C. What is the reference variable? Is in C. C dot brand. C dot brand. Whenever if I try to print a C dot brand like this, control goes to C first. Control goes to C. So that C contains some data called as in 0x1. Again, control go to 0x1. Now the dot operator comes into picture. This dot operator, it will enters into as an object. It's going to search. What do you want? You want a brand, a cost, a color, a number of seats. I want a brand. It's searching. Is there any brand inside this car object? Yes, I have a brand. And will print the data called as an RD. Are you getting it, guys? Understanding? System dot out dot println C dot cost. C dot cost. Control goes to C. Control goes to C. That C contains an address. Control goes to again here. Dot operator is entering. Again it's searching. What is that? 10. What is it? 10 lakhs. We'll get an output called as in 10 lakhs. Next, system dot out dot println C dot color. C dot color. Control goes to C. So that C contains an 0x1. That 0x1 dot operator enters into an object. So inside an object, researching is there any color? Yes, yes, we have a color, and we'll get an block as an output. So this is how this program works internally. This is how you have to write a program. This is how you have to convert a real world object into programming word object. Every time you have to create an object. We have a something called as a non-static. We have a something called as a static. That thing I'll be explaining a bit later. Okay, now first you should understand this object creation syntax. Clear? Understood? Anyone facing any difficulty? Are you able to understand right what I'm saying? Okay. Now, very simple. Write a program. Create a class car. Every car has some things. What is the string brand? Let us take it as an Audi. Cost a next int number of seats 4. Next string color. What is it? Black. Now we have a main method. We have a main method. What is that? Public static void main. We have some shortcuts in Eclipse, guys. I'll try to discuss all those things later. So as of now, understood. That's it. Now system dot first we have to create an object. What is that? Car C is equal to new car. This is an object creation syntax. Now after that system dot out dot println C dot brand. It asking. See, this dot operator is searching what you want. Play. You want a brand, color, cost, number of seat. This dot operator is searching inside an object. What do you want? I want a brand. Clear. I want a brand. Next system dot out dot println C dot cost. Sorry, C dot cost. Sorry, color. Okay. Next I want C dot cost. Next C dot let me take it as a number of seats. Now let us try to execute this program. We'll see whether it is working or not. 100% it's working. Clear? Okay. Now we have a one more point here. So what is that point? Fifth point. Dot operator. It is used to access the data from an object. I'll explain about heap area. Okay, now don't be confused. This is an object, guys. This is the one object. See, I have 1,000. Let us try to create one more. Just a minute. Yeah. I have a one object. What type of an object? It is an employee object. Now I have a one more object. What is this? Car object. Now we have a one more object. What is this? Bike object. Okay, now. So we have one more object. What is this? Let us take it as a test object. Let us take it as a sample object. So we need a one area. We need a one area. This area. This area we can call it as an heap area. This area we can call it as an heap area. What is the job of this heap area? Heap area it is used to store all these all these objects. This bike object is going to store it inside a heap area. Test object store it inside a heap area. Sample I store it inside a heap area. Clear? So heap area it is used to store a non-static members, or a heap area it is used to store an objects. It is used to store an objects. Clear? So don't be confused with object and heap area. Non-static members stored inside an object. Okay, a non-static member stored inside an object. This object stored inside an heap area. Clear? And next sixth point. All objects are stored inside an heap area. This point is very important. Okay, na? Next, we can create number of objects. We can create a number of objects, but reference name should be different. Different name should be different. So this is all about an creating an object creation process, guys. So in Java, so how will I create an object? Why should I create an object? What happened if I try to create an object? You should remember. What is that first one? How will I create an object? Next, why? Okay, na? So where all the objects are stored? So all the objects are stored inside an heap area. Why? In order to store non-static and in order to call non-static. Store and call non-static. How? By using in class name. Clear? Understood? Okay. Try to write all these points. Are you able to understand my handwriting, right? It looks like in kanji pinji, so please try to understand the words. Who is responsible to create an object? Reference variable or a new operator? Where all the objects are stored? where all the objects are stored. Is there any memory allocation? Is there any memory allocation for the non-static that object? Yes, heap area, where all the non-static members are stored. Where all the non-static members are stored. Object. Okay. What is the job of object reference variable? Access the data from. Yes. Completed. Is it done? Yes or no? Completed. Lay. How much time you want lay? Still, how much time it will take to complete the 7 points? Done, na? Now. Okay. Let me take class. Let me write my writing very clearly. Okay, first. Class. Give me some object. Mobile. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Raja. Mobile. Okay, na. Open bracket. Close bracket. States up. String. Brand. Brand. MI. Next. OnePlus. iPhone. Let me take Samsung. Who is it? Parashram. Nokia Dabba phone. Lay Dabba fellow. Nokia is not a Dabba phone. Int cost. Uh, Int cost around the Samsung. Yeah, 10,000. Okay, now string color. Obviously, this time I'll go with an white. Okay. Let me create a one more class. Okay, na class user. Okay, na open bracket, close bracket. Now what I want to do is I want to call all these mobile non-static members into an user class. Are you able to understand, right? So I want to call all these properties in a user class, not in the same class, in a different class. So how will I do that? I want to create an object. Should I create object before main method or after main method? Which means inside an main method or outside an main method? Remember. Should I create an object inside a main method or outside a main method? Mandatory always execution start from main method. That is the reason. So we have to create an object inside a main method. So you should remember always execution, start from a main method. That is the reason we have to create an object inside a main method. Okay. Now, should I create object for a user class or a mobile class? Always, object creation syntax means class name, new operator, new again class name. Which class I should create? Should I create it for an user class or should I create it for a mobile class? Think and tell me. Okay, now think and tell me whether it is a right or wrong. It's okay. Think and tell me. Use your brains. Okay, now should I create object for a mobile class or a user class? Okay. So what is my agenda here? I want to call a non-static member. Okay. Now, first of all, I'll give one beautiful example. Okay. Now, so let me take it as a one, second standard. So Raju and Dinga and Tom both are studying in a second standard. Both these are studying in a second standard. Okay. Now, okay. Now here we have a something called as a playground. Okay. Now here we have a something called as a playground. I want to call these fellows from a second standard to playground. Okay, na? Now you tell me. Okay, now these fellows I cannot call it directly. So I cannot call it directly. Okay, now there is some restrictions. Okay, na? So let consider this. These fellows are non-static. I cannot call it directly. Rather, I should create an object. You tell me. Should I create? I should take a permission from this. Second standard teacher. Okay, now second standard teacher. Okay, na. So what is the second standard teacher name? Let us take it as then C. Okay, na. Now you tell me, should I create an object for a playground or should I create an object for a second standard? Hey, all these fellows are they spotted in a where apa playground or a second standard. Second standard, correct? All these non-static members are present inside a user class or a mobile class. Mobile class. That is the reason we have to create object for a mobile. In a user class, what is it like? Nothing is there. Simple. We have one main method. Apart from the main method, is there any existing? No. But mobile class contain a non-static members. Now what I want to do here, I want to call these non-static members in a user class. Okay, na? So if I want to do that, I should create an object. Why? Because these are the non-static. Tell Ale, what is that syntax? Class name. What is the class name here? Mobile object reference M new mobile. Okay, na? Job of new operator, create an object. Job of new operator, create an object. Okay, na? Every object has one address. What type of object is it? Can anyone think and tell? What type of object? Oi, am I audible? It is a non-static variable. I know that. What is that? What type of object? It is an mobile object. It is an mobile object. Every object has one address. Where will I store? Should I store it in a new or a M or a mobile? I want to store this reference variable, this address inside a M. So this M is a reference variable. So what is that? 0x1, which means this M is a referring. This M is a pointing to that object. This M is a referring. Okay, now load all these things. Load all these non-static members inside an object. Now system dot out dot println. Who is referring here? M. Why is referring? Because he is the person who stores address of its object. So M dot brand. So let us take we have a brand, cost, and as well as color. Next, system dot out dot println. Who is referring? M. So M dot. So inside a M we have a something called as an cost. Next, system dot out dot println M dot. If I try to do that, I'll get a beautiful output called as an Samsung 10,000 and white. Now let me try to execute this program so that you can understand in a very clear way. Let me take it as a class. Since what is a class? Mobile. String brand is equal to Samsung. Int cost 10,000. Next, white. Next, yeah, all about it. Next, let me create a one more class called as an user. User. Don't worry, I'll try to explain it in a very clear way. So here we have something called as a mobile class. Just a minute. Okay. So we have a mobile and here we have a user. So what I want to do is I want to call all these non-static members inside a user class. So how will I do that? Since it is a non-static, so that we have to create an object. But always object we should create inside a main method. Done. You should remember the point here. So now So create an object. To which class I should create an object? We have to create object for a mobile, because mobile class contains in all those things, right? Non-static. That is the reason we have to create mobile m is equal to a new mobile. Correct. Next. So system.out.println m dot brand. Next system.out.println m dot cost. Next system.out.println m dot color. Clear. Sir, should I create a one more object? Yes, sir. Is there any problem, sir? Yes, 100% we can create an object. So mobile M1 reference name should be different, guys. That you have to remember. Okay, now I can create a n number of objects. I'm going to create one more object. M2. The reference name should be different. Mobile. Again, I'm going to create one more object. Mobile M3 is equal to new mobile. So this reference name, what is the reference name of the first object? M. Next M1, M2, M3. So like that we have to create. Understood? Yes or no? Okay. Start on this program. Tagatak. First you have to write this employee program. First you have to write this employee. Give a heading. Create a class called EMP employee, and second one, just a minute, I'll do this one. Okay. Next, create non-static variables. Next, print or call non-static variables within a class. Okay, just a minute. Create an object and print or call non-static variable within a class. So this is the way you have to write an program, guys. This is the way you have to give an heading. Write this program. So accessing a non-static members within a same class. Hey, Raghav. Hey guys, is it done? Completed? Okay. Next program you have to write. Where it is? Okay, this one. Mobile. So what is that doing here? Create a class called mobile. Next, declare non-static variables. Hey, what is the declare spelling? Okay, thank you. Declare a non-static variables. Next, create a one more class and access mobile class instead of using create a user class access mobile class is in user class. Write down this program guys. So just a minute. Yes. This is a mobile class and this is an user class. Is it done, guys? Completed? Okay. Now I'll give some, programs. I'll give some assignment program. We'll see that. I'll give some 5 minutes of time. Now only how to write it. After that, I'll give an, instructions to install an Eclipse. Write a program for below requirements. Write a program for below requirements. First one, create a class called uh, laptop. Second one, declare six states of an laptop object. Third one, create object. Sorry, not required. This one you guys are already aware of it. Access not an access. Print the data within a same class. Okay, na? Second one, create a class called um, pen. Okay, a very simple object. Declare 5 states of an pen. Print or access the data in an different class. Taka tak taka tak taka tak. You have to write it now. You have to write a program for these two requirements. I'll give only 5 minutes of a time, guys. Completed. Yes or no? No. Still how long it will take? Okay. Completed everyone? Is it done? I hope you good at how to create an object. What is object? Correct? Okay. Now, so this is all about an guys. This is all about a creation of an object. So we can create an object within a same class or within a different class. So when should I create an object? So whenever we have a non-static members in my class, if I want to access that non-static members, so we need a one person. Who is that person? Object. Okay, now again, all the objects are stored inside a memory called as a heap area. Great. So all the non-static members are stored in object. That object stored inside an heap area. What is that heap area? How it works? That I'll be explaining in a different, in a later. Not it's not now. It's not required. Done. So how many objects we can create? N number of objects. Clear? So reference variable stores address of an object. Every object has one address. Okay, na? So everything you should remember. Done. Understood today's session? Easy. Any difficulty are you facing? Come on, guys. I want your feedback because since it is an online, I just want to know that whether you guys are understood or not. Every time I keep on asking this question, understood or not, understood or not. So why? Because it is an online. If it is an offline, so I'll come to know that by seeing your face. So please, that is the reason. Please try to respond. Please try to respond. Otherwise, you will only get support, guys. I don't have any problem with that. My job is very easy. So my intention is I want everyone to respond. That is the reason I want everyone to understand. That is it. Okay. Okay, for now I'll give some uh, steps to install an Eclipse. I guess you guys are complete. I guess you guys are downloaded, correct? So now after that, how to install an Eclipse? So as soon as you download an Eclipse, you will get one logo. So like this, you'll get one logo. Where it is? So this is my Eclipse. So whenever you type Eclipse, so you will get one logo like this. Okay, now. So just you have to open that logo. Okay, now you have to just click on the open. Okay, now as soon as you click on the open, so I'll try to show you now. Okay, now. So you will get one page. So we'll get one page like this. Just a minute. So like this, you'll get on page. So what is that? Eclipse installer, or something Eclipse ID for Java developers. So what you want to do is you have to click on the second one. Okay, now. So what is that? We have a Eclipse IDE for Java EE developers. Okay, now you no need to click on first one or the third one. You have to click on a second one called Eclipse IDE for Java EE developers. EE means Enterprises Edition. Clear? E means Enterprises Edition. So you have to click on second one. After clicking second one, it will take some time. Okay, based on your laptop requirements or configuration, it will take some time to install it. So after that, what you want to do is where is my Eclipse? Yeah, understood that first point. The first what you want to do is you have to open the logo of an Eclipse. After that, you will get one page. Click on second one. Click on second one. After clicking that second one, you will it will take some time, guys. It will take some time to install based on your laptop configuration. Okay, na? So every time in Eclipse, if you want to write any program in Eclipse, first thing you have to do two things here. Okay, na? First one, you have to create first. You have to select a workspace. Okay, you have to select or create an workspace. Create an workspace. How to create an workspace? Click on. I'll explain. Okay, now click on. These are all the steps. Browse button. Create new folder. Select that folder. This is how you have to create a workspace. After that, click on launch button. Click on launch button. So this is how you have to create an workspace. Let me show you now. So this is my Eclipse. I have already installed it. That is the reason I'll not get that page. What is that second page? Directly, I'll get some IDE launcher. So here we have something called as an workspace, right? So what you want? You want to create a one workspace. So workspace in the sense all the programs are stored in that workspace, in that folder. So now I already created something called as an TECM, your batch code. Okay, now so your batch code, what is that? So TECM 44. Like this, you have to create a one new folder. After that, you have to select and you have to launch it. So we have a button called as an a launch button. You no need to click on use this link as a default. No, you no need to do anything here. You are not supposed to click on this link. If you click on that link, then next you cannot change that workspace. That workspace is default. It will get no. So that is the reason you don't want to click in this button. Rather, just you have to click on the launch button. As soon as you click on the launch button, so that Eclipse will get open. So like this, you will get one page Eclipse. You will get first one welcome page, guys. Okay, now. So after that, what you want to do is after welcoming that Eclipse, after opening that Eclipse, what you want to do is if you want to write any program, first thing you should create a project. Create a project. Steps to create a project. Go to file, click on new. Second one, select project, click on Java project, give name for the project, name for the selected project, Fourth one, finish. Click on finish. So this is how you have to create a project, guys. Now let me show you. First thing, go to file, click on new. Here select a Java project, and here again you have to click on a project, Java project, give a name. As of now, your concept name is your project name. Now we are discussing about an object in classes, right? Next we are going to discuss about a methods. So let me create a project called as a methods. You don't need to do anything. Directly you have to click on a finish. So next you will get a one page module. Create a module page. You have to click on don't create. So look here. So you will get on, just a minute. See, so we have successfully created a project called as a methods. As soon as you create a methods, automatically two subfolders. Once you create a project, automatically two subfolders will get create. Next, understood how to create a project? First one, what you want to do is you have to click on project or click on Java project, give a name for the selected project, and click on finish. Next, after creating a project, two subfolders will get created. Okay, now. So after that, what you want to do? Step number three. Step number three. What is that? Create package. What is that package? Those things I'll be explaining it later. Okay, now. In order to do that, what is the first name? Right click on SRC folder. Click on new. Select package. Give a name for a package. Give a name for a package. And next, click on finish. Click on finish. It's very simple. Next, right click on SRC folder, go to new, select a package, give a name for a package, com, right click on a finish. Look here, com folder will get open. So now again you have to click on a com folder. Now select a class and give a name for a class. That's it, guys. Class will get created. Understood? Again I'm repeating. First, what do you want to do here? Let me try to delete this one methods. First thing, you have to create a project. So how will I create a project? Go to file. In that, go to new and select a project. And here, what type of project you want? You want a Java project. Why? Because you working on Java, right? That is the reason you have to say, click on Java project. Give a name for that project. What is that? Your concept name is your project now. As of now. Okay, now give a name for the project methods. Next, click on finish button. You have to click on a finish button. Okay, now as soon as you click on a finish button, you will get a one module page. Here, you no need to click on create button. Directly you have to click on don't create button. Okay, now once you click on that button, automatically the project will get created. So as soon as you create a project, two subfolders will get created. What is that? That I'll be explain with different, okay, a little bit different way. So when it comes to Java library, at the time I'm going to explain these things. Now SRC folder, in that SRC folder you have to click on a right click on SRC folder, select a package. Inside a package, give a name for a com as of now. Let me take it as an org or a com. What do you want? Org finish. See that org folder will get created. Next, a new create a class called as an test or a sample. What which one depends on you. Okay, sample. See, sample class will get created. It's very simple, guys. Try to understand it very carefully. So we have a lot of YouTube videos as well. So try to refer it. Is it clear? Understood, guys? If you want to just copy these steps. First, what you want to do? You have to create a workspace. You just follow these steps. Don't do any other extra things, guys. Like if you in a workspace also, don't click on the default link button. Select folder and directly you have to click on a launch button. You just try to follow these steps. You just take a photo and later you have to write it. After creating workspace, you have to create a project. Inside a project, you have to create a package. Completed. So I'll try to draw this hierarchy, try to follow it. First thing, project. Once you create a project, two folders will get created: JRE system library and SRC. You have to select SRC, and here you have to create a package called as a com. Inside a com, you have to create a class. So this is an hierarchy, guys. So these are all the steps. Again, if you want one more new project, again very simple. Create a project. Two folders will get created: JRE system library and SRC. Right click on SRC, create a package called as an com or what you want, and here again you have to create a class. This is the you have to follow the hierarchy. Understood, everyone? Okay, understood today's session. Okay, guys. So this is all about it. So tomorrow again we have one beautiful topic. So don't miss the session. So try to remember all the points. Try to revise it once after the class. Okay, na? So have a good day, guys. Take care. Bye bye. So anyone have any doubts? No, right? I guess if I have any doubts, you just try to ask it.